Hello and welcome, gamer. I waited especially for you to pour myself some more tea. There we go. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Alright. I'm excited for more Final Fantasy, so let's get into it. Trial. Hold on, let me check. Yep. Okay. Let's go. Oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope? I was about to make my way to the studium as it happens. I wanted to try and speak with Scholark Monteshane and thank him for coming to our rescue in Rostra. As it turns out, he'd come here to see us following the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed for Thavnir. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud with his former students. Since we're still waiting for Y'shtola and the others, I thought now the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? Sure. Then it's settled. The twins will be coming too, assuming Alphino can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops while I go on ahead to Phenomenon. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the studium for a time. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. Yes, sir. Oh, look at my little man practicing. Baby boy. Heading out for a stroll. The Scholark himself is here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphino, of all people, worrying over his reputation. And at our alma mater, no less. Will wonders never cease? You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. Lazy teleport. I don't know why it's always snowing when I'm in Charlian. I just love the snow here. Here it is, Phenomenon. While I expect you made note of it before, one can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. As the center of what would later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of ethereological phenomena, hence the name. Though with ether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the 6th Astral Era, Phenomenon was decreed complete and the studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority in etherology, the arcane, the occult, astromancy, and countless other fields, standing proud as Charlian's foremost educational institute. You always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited the same foppish speech. Such is his undying love for his old stamping ground. He was in top form back then, youngest to enter the studium, graduated with highest honors in magical arts and etherology, undisputed champion of the debating chamber. Hold on, you both joined the studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphino actually entered half a year before me. Nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors. And I'm certainly not the studium's most notorious master debater. In all respects, have I ever been in his shadow. If nothing else, just remember that this was where the legend of Alphino Leveilleur began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully he will be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration the student body has for Alphino, and with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Was she looking so pretty? Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scholar Montaigne. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wheresoever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. That was Alphino Leveilleur, wasn't it? The Alphino Leveilleur. And he's with his sister and Master Baldessian's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing. An event of epoch-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word. Calm down. Oh, sorry, you said you're looking for the scholar, yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere, but Miss Aliapo should have a better idea. They're holding competitions over who can be the biggest nerd. Are you lost? Wandering in off the streets, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly of me. An orientation is in order. Ahem. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Searcher's Meet. Let me start with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the studium? That's right, books. And what's the second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal in here at Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Paisa this, tongue of giant toad that. It's enough to make your hair stand on end. Which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being a school of magic and all. As our newest gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. I've tracked down many miscellaneous knickknacks in my time, but I'm no gleaner. So what you're telling me is, you're not a gleaner? Yes, that's exactly what you said, isn't it? And you're looking for the Skull-Ark? I'm afraid we don't have any of those in stock, but I can... Oh, you mean him! He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive curios, not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. Ah! In the time it's taken me to tell you all of this, the Skull-Ark has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. Thanks. Yeah, so this is basically the Endwalker area for the gatherers, and now we're going towards the area for the crafters. Yes, the Skull-Ark was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though we spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps to one of the auditoriums. Oh my god. That looks delicious. Whenever I see those, like, big hams, I just get the, like, caveman urge to bite into it. Just like, nom. Give me some mammoth steak. Hello, Grandpa's friend. I'm gonna quickly look at the vista here. There we go. Hello, sir.
Ah, I remember you.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Maybe you're secretly a squirrel.
Well, I could hardly let that inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
I like this, Grandpa.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat. We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms. Two are of the incorporeal sort, the soul and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
Come on, Duashe. Corporeal ether.
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The seventh Umbral Calamity.
Yeah, buddy.
The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace?
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve, rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable.
Why she's
Well,
so
I think that's enough
confused.
education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet.
Love those little
I would
animation
remind you
details.
that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend. Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
Why you gotta laugh so sinister, man? Well, that's given me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the Forum's true motives, and the mysteries of life itself for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in the days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the annex. Perhaps on the way you could better acquaint yourselves with Ki Aliapo, as the scholar suggested, while I share our findings with Raha. You know, I've done most of the quests already, so I don't really need to acquaint myself. We've been there. Whee! Run, run, run. Run, 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 run. Whee! Graha! Hey! Astidian! Having spent most of the time in Thavnir, I've yet to fully grasp the lie of the land here in Charlian. Even finding my way to the Annex proved a challenge. How is it that you traveled so much of the world, but you still can't find your way in a city, bro? Justinian returned not long after we departed for the studium. A shame that he missed the chance to attend our lecture with the Scholarch. Or perhaps not. I do like Justinian's role in this expansion. He's the, in English please guy. Which I appreciate. Because I know a lot of the lore, but not everything. Ah, welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the studium proved mostly educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow scions. As expected, news of the warding scales was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our procession to Limsa. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vilbrand. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Astinian? Phew! I didn't realize the crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain though. Fritra and the alchemists of the Great Work put their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the forum's watchful gaze, I've little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as our official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn. I can feel it. To Limsa. Yay! By the way, I was planning on doing another stream tomorrow. Would you be down with that, or would you like more time to watch the last 45 minutes of this stream? Where am I going? I'm going the wrong way. Because I could also do Wednesday or Thursday. That would be after work. But either way is fine with me. Yeah, no worries. I could just give you a little recap if you want. Yeah. Alright. Perfect. Ah, I was told to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral is at present entertaining the Elder Seatsier and the Sultana. 3 of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you to them? I'm okay. My apologies for calling you away from Charlian at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. 'Twas only right that this discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan entails? It hinges entirely on the wording scales and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Charlian, the Allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge in abduction of kobolds, Sahagin, Ixal, and Ananta have given rise to increasing numbers of primals as well. But your triumph in Ratzadhan has given us cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace. And it is you, the scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Telophoroi at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be the Ilsabard contingent. To think such progress has been made in so short a span. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered. Robbed of their free will, they serve the Telophoros' every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I ask only that in choosing to remember, we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that, there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye, on that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Urianger observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there is reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zod was toppled, we'd failed to make any headway. Though the same could be said of the Telophroi, they're certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager the spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied. while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Y'shtola's analysis of the tower's influence on ethereal currents. Based on her observations inside the Tower of Zod, the spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down, along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good. But what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the Ilsabard contingent. Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. For the people of Garlemald. Couldn't have put it better myself. Y'shtola, Thancred, and Urianger have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the wording scales to Alamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Ilsabard. Oh, do you hear Tato laughing? Roban and Lord Emmerich are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telophoroi so much as draw steel. Yeah, they're laughing in their room. I think they're playing D&D. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go. Saving the knowledge Eorzea will be as you left it, or better, upon your return. Alright, so usually in the next quest, Tataru gives you a new coat that you can put on so you're warm, but I'm not gonna get that because I'm doing New Game Plus. But I have designed a little cold weather outfit with the coat that Tataru gives you. So we're just gonna put that on now since I can't change my glam while I'm in Aldamigo. Thank you, thank you. Very, very cute. Just a little costume change. Looks very warm. Hey, look at your husband! If Emmerich asks after me, say I'm getting on fine and leave it at that. Don't you dare breathe a word about the cord. Ah, fancy meeting you here. I trust our mutual friend is settling into life as a scion. Collaboration never was his forte. The moment the fighting ended, off he'd go, like a Gaelic cat swept up in a strong breeze. But rest assured, he will always be there when you need him. Probably. Wow. Hey, Robon. Ah, the Wanderer's return. You've been busy bringing down a tower and producing the keys to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warding scales of yours are what made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Emmerich be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Ilsebard contingent. The very suggestion that we send some of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid unto the Garleans has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all. Sadly not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side, charging into the fray. Okay, boyfriends. Alas, I've battles of my own to fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. I hate to say it, but Lord Emmerich's struggle mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Ilsebard, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Ah, this guy again. Much has occurred since we parted ways in Werlit. Oh yeah, that's the Sorrow of Werlit questline. From what I gather, the protective talismans you obtained led to the formation of this expeditionary force. My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. So you're not coming with us? Strange. I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. The Telophori have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every motive of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varus and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel with the Ilsebard contingent, it would give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I am branded a villain or hailed as a hero, I would only hinder your efforts. We'll deliver your people from harm in your stead. It's too bad you can't say, "Fuck off, Gaius." For what it's worth, you have my gratitude. You and your comrades have the strength and courage to deliver my countrymen. I'm certain of it. In light of Gaius's rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friends inside? You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two. And if I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you. All of you. Yay! The other members of the Ilsebard contingent are gathered in the royal palace. I shall inform them of your arrivals, so please make your way inside as soon as you're ready. Let's go. Ah, the remaining members of the Scions. Your friends and most of the Ilsebard contingent await you within. Let's go in.
By the 12.
Please!
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilsebard contingent.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Hello, welcome, Golden, Faith.
Lucia.
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end.
Yeah, we're going to Garlemald to kick Xenos' ass. And probably fun Daniel while we're at it.
We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company.
Hell yeah.
Everyone! If I may have your attention.
Please.
Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must. I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation, here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer. We shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort. Of course, with an experienced white mage such as yourself accompanying us as well, those requiring more involved treatment will be in safe hands. Raya O sends her regards, by the way.
I love that they acknowledge the class quests.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
This guy again!
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hilfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughing stock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship. So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but the promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do. Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we.
He's so funny.
The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the Avatar of Destruction. With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
She's gonna kill them.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabard contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require.
I love you, even though you have a Karen haircut.
The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission.
Yay!
Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
This guy!
Lord Emanolain?
Ah, yes. Emanolain de Forton, at your service. Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that.
I think he looks the same.
But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
Shut up! I dare say your fancy footwork may be all that stands between us and certain doom.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroa with my tales of daring do.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea. Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Yes!
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as a step is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Gaius bloody Baelsar himself is working to help rebuild Wurlid, a nation he once conquered.
I have some thoughts on that.
So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garlond Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us, so it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think she would look much better if she just shaved off the long bangs. I think she would look very handsome indeed. If she just had this part of her hair, that would look much better. Alright. Ooh, we're gonna take some time to talk to some NPCs. Hello, wife guy. With the Mole, champions of the Nodum, and the Dothal having sent so many here, I had thought to defend the steppe in their absence. And I would have done so were it not for my step-brothers. They urged me to grant our allies the sun's might, that his radiance may deliver them unto victory. Though I must tolerate the presence of this feral Dothali dog, as first among my brothers, I could do no less than accept this challenge. My deeds will become the stuff of legends. Hey man, maybe you'll find your Nama in Garlemald. I care not for the Iron Men or their troubles. It is the destiny of the weak to die in ignominy. Even so, I will do as I have agreed. I volunteer to join this band at Cyrina's request, and if she thinks it is a worthy cause, that's reason enough. Though we hail from different tribes, our bond has grown strong of late. She is much better company on a hunt than any of the steppes oafish men could dream to be. Hello? Do we have something going on here? She should. I ship it. I like it. Yeah. I'm glad to see you well, Dwache. Grandmother was worried for you. The night I agreed to come hither and join the contingent, the gods sent her a strange dream. 2 suns, one burning red, the other frozen black. Closer they circled, closer and closer, and as they danced the world fell to ruin. In blinding chaos she spied blackened silhouettes. I knew at once that one was yours. Yet we knew not how to interpret this dream, save as a sign that great danger awaits. But whatever lies ahead, I will walk with you, traveler. Cathartic haircut? Absolutely. Once again, we find ourselves fighting on the same side. First Baja, now Garlemald. It may seem strange I'd agree to aid the Imperials after waging war against them for so long, but here I am. It is time we put the past behind us. Yay. This guy is from the Baja Southern Front questline, which you can't New Game Plus, but it's basically like remember that one dungeon at the end of Stormblood where it was basically like World War I but fantasy. That's basically what you have to think about with Bozja. This guy is from the Lancer, or rather the Dragoon questline. Let me have a look at you. A touch nervous to enter the battlefield, perhaps? Well, I shall be out there alongside you as a Temple Knight serving with your fine van. Though I may not look it, I was the Azure Dragoon once upon a time, so you can rest assured I will give all that I have in the coming fight. I certainly won't be shown up by you or Estinian. This is our friend from the Machinist questlines. Well met, Dwashe, well met. It would seem that my machinists have been called upon to serve. A turn of events which, according to my prospectometer, could prove to be quite the opportunity. I shall show the world the full extent of machinistry's worth, and of that and more you can be sure. Of, my friend. And Manalaine. Well, well, if I'd known what a social gathering this would turn out to be, I'd have dressed for the occasion. Still, this seems the perfect opportunity to mingle with the other guests. Would I be correct in assuming those ladies over yonder are Sirena and Sadhu of the Steppe? Perhaps I should introduce myself, though I don't much like the look of that fellow with the enormous axe. I would probably stay away from them. I think Sadhu might set you on fire. I cast my lot with the Popularis to bridge the divide between Garlemald and her territories, that all may be united in common cause. But we were disparaged as a radical element, the Centaurs looking to destabilize the Empire from within. Many friends and even my parents perished in unfortunate accidents. I too would surely have met the same fate had I not defected. Nevertheless, I still dream of equality and peace for us all. As the world itself stands on the brink of collapse, I hold out hope that one day that dream will become reality. I think she's from the Pugilist questline. Yeah, she is. I'm so glad I found you. I've for you a letter from Master Hamon. Let's read it together, shall we? Now let's see here. Ahem. I've every confidence that your fists shall bring the Telophori to their knees, and should you espy any beautiful maidens thereabouts, perhaps sing to them my praises? Charming, master. Well, more fool me for thinking that letter would contain something actually inspiring. Let's just, forget this note exists and focus on the battle ahead. Sorry about that. It seems so long ago we were sailing across the Ruby Sea and charging about the Azim Steppe with Sirena and the others. I'd say we're overdue for another adventure. Yeah, I love it so much. Like, even when the white mage guy was like, "Huh, we got another experienced white mage here." It brings back memories to see so many familiar faces. We've been through so much together. Good times and not so good. I expect Garlemald will be mostly the latter, but I'd like to believe we'll look back on these days more fondly in the years to come. But for that to happen, we'll have to make it out of this alive. Don't you die on me, aye? This guy is from the Thaumaturge Guild. We came as quickly as we could. We would follow your example and devastate the Telophori with the full extent of our powers. Were it not for your brothers, Busi will... Coco Busi. I just realized saying the name aloud. Uh-oh. We will return soon. Not bussy. Bussy. Don't look at me. Often Father has told me of the struggles faced by Alamigo in the days of the occupation, and I too have crossed swords with the Empire on many occasions. Though Garlemald has long been our bitter enemy, Her Grace has elected to bolster the Ilsebard contingent with members of the Immortal Flames. As representatives of the Sultanate, we are one in our commitment to the cause. Until the Empire fell, Garleans were the only ones we was allowed to impose terrorists upon at sea. Weren't easy pickings, but I made myself a pretty gill. Since they've been so generous to me and mine, perhaps it's time I returned the favor and gave a little something back. I think this guy's from the Marauders? Yeah, Marauders Guild. I'm here representing the Marauders Guild, and it's my job to keep the Smiths out of harm's way. Mind you, with them hammers of theirs, they can put up a fair fight themselves. With a bit of luck, this'll be over and done with before you know it. Maybe when this is all over, you could pay the Axemaster a visit. He still tells all the new recruits about the time you killed Kujada and avenged that boy's parents. Ha! I remember it like it was yesterday. Cool. This guy is from the Scholar questlines. Greetings, Dwashe. The time has come for us Marines to show our valor upon the battlefield. All who see us will know our name and quake before our might. To victory, come hells or high water. Arun Senna. In case you were wondering, Ashiva will be staying behind to defend the Twelveswood with my sisters. She was of the opinion she would make a useful addition to our contingent, and was eager to make good on her vow to accompany me as well, which was flattering, but ultimately it was decided that her skills would be better put to use keeping our homeland safe. I am, of course, obligated to share with her every detail when I return. These two are from the Bard questline. I can't lie to you, Dwashe. I wasn't entirely for this whole thing when Sanson spoke to me, but if it means being your brother in arms, then who am I to petty fog? I shouldn't be so hard on him, I suppose. This Bard's unit is quite impressive, really. Yes, one must give credit where credit is due. Rather uncouth for one to do otherwise, after all. Okay. Sure. Our prowess has finally been recognized by the Order of the Twin Adder. Naturally, Guidolo is also here helping us. Whilst his ability as a bard is unmatched, I do worry about his judgment. However, you need not. I shall be keeping a close eye on him, I promise. Let's talk to Lucia, let's talk to all our friends. I've led troops into battle many a time, but never a unit with such a diverse range of talents. While I've been briefed on their capabilities, I expect you could provide additional insight into their strengths and weaknesses. I'd appreciate any advice you may have. I did not expect to see the other former Azure Dragoon here of all places. As he well knows, I'm not one for verbose greetings. We shall instead let our lances do the talking once we are on the battlefield. Then we'll see if the other has been diligent in his training. I might one day do the Dragoon questline. It's so funny that both Estinian and Graha were side characters from like out of the way questlines. Well, Estinian not so much out of the way, but They were side characters and now they're main cast characters. Waha! This is extraordinary! To be in such company, the finest our allies have to offer. With comrades such as these, we are bound to succeed. I'm certain of it. Yeah. We've been part of joint military operations like this before, and with far greater numbers. But for some reason, this feels very different to our previous experiences. Despite having shared little more than introductions, there is already a palpable sense of camaraderie. I was half expecting to find the man who taught me red magic amongst our number, but he is nowhere to be seen. I suppose he's had his share of unpleasant experiences with the Empire, but so have we all. Perhaps there's some other reason. He did. No, he's not. Well, in any case, I have a feeling I'll see him again once this is all over. I'm sure he'll be pleasantly surprised by how much my swordplay's improved since we last met. Blessed are we to have made countless steadfast allies o'er our journey's course. Indeed, we are joined today by many new acquaintances, who in time shall we come to call our comrades, and mayhap friends. Last one, Thancred. Oh no, I still have to do Y'shtola. I've close ties with the scouts of the Eastern Alliance and the various resistance groups, and they are an absolute joy to work with. Thanks. Besides the delegates assembled here, the Amalja and several other tribes offered to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to their physiology, many would struggle simply to survive in the harsh climate of Ilsabard. They would also likely prove tempting targets for abduction by the Telophoroi. All things considered, they can better aid the cause by bolstering our defenses in Eorzea, though their eagerness to do more has been noted. We shall have to suffice. Ere we embark, we must distribute the warding scales to our comrades. Care to do the honors? We heard it would be cold in Garlemald, so we came prepared. Oh, the talismans! We are to keep these close at all times, yes? I will see that no one misplaces theirs. Ah, and before I forget, I have a message from Leanne. Great. In distant lands, in times of strife, together stand, together fight, in darkness shines the light of life. I hope I have done his words justice. Domald, like much of Othard, has been plagued by the towers, yet while he could not be here, he wished to express his shared conviction. Leanne and Yugiri labor without rest to unite the people, and with their aid shall we keep the enemy at bay. And we of the Steppe and Eastern Alliance will repay their efforts by ending this war. Warding scales for the Ishgardian delegation, I take it? Many thanks. These talismans may prove to be the deciding factor in the battles to come. I find myself conflicted by this foray into Garlemald, sent by the Empire to infiltrate Ishgard, only to throw my lot in with those whose secrets I was supposed to be stealing. And now I lead a mission to save the countrymen I betrayed. But that is doubtless why I was chosen by Lord Emmerich. He would have me put my extensive knowledge and former ties to good use. I will not disappoint him. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemald, and the world at large, I will lead us to victory. That's a set of warding scales I spy. Not that I would know what they'd look like. I love you, Lise. Wow, look at these. Even a layman like me can tell they're bursting with ether. All the better to fend off the tempering waves? Is that the right term? Anyway, these'll give us one less thing to worry about. Which just leaves the other mountain of whatever is awaiting us in Garlemald. Only one way to find out, eh? And nervous or not, I'd march through all 7 hells if it gave me a chance to put Xenos back in the grave where he belongs. Phew! I hear you got something for us. A kisaro from me to you. Ah, them scales everyone's been talking about. Pretty little things then, ain't they? Reckon they'll be worth a gil or two when this is all over, but we'll hold on to them for now. Can you imagine? You just give them the scales and they sell them and get timbered. Wow! And one more thing. I know what you're all thinking. Why didn't they send Izar instead? Buggered if I know. All the Admiral and Captain Hilfer told me was they needed someone to help safeguard the future. And here I am. Can't say they haven't got a sense of humor. Of course, some of you might be wondering what good a pirate is on dry land, in the middle of the snow of all places. Well, me and my crew will do whatever needs doing, so let's set sail, or however the saying goes on airships. You're so chatty. Yes? Rude bish. Little anime boy. So these are the famed warding scales. Enough for me and my men, I see. I, myself, am especially grateful for this opportunity to visit distant lands. I wish to follow in the footsteps of Master Atoa and learn all there is to learn of this star we call home. Indeed, that is the primary reason I volunteered to join the expedition. To journey outside the 12 Woods, much less enter into Imperial territory, is a rare privilege afforded a Pagel. Not that I'm tagging along to see the sights. The Guardians would benefit from my healing magics, as would our comrades, should fighting break out. Ooh. Maxima. Do you have a warding scale for me too? Of course, sir. Thank you for this, and for going to such incredible lengths for the sake of my people. Though I have little to offer in return, I would impart some advice, if I may. You have been told by many to wear the cold of Ilsebard, and I cannot stress enough that this is no token warning. I will be distributing specially made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemist Guild, but understand that they are no substitute for proper protection. I leave the provisioning of said protection to your discretion. Now, let us proceed to the Alamegan Quarter. While you make your final preparations, I will have the pilots ready the airships. A kisaro from me to you. This is our last chance to make ready before we set forth. You needn't worry about Urianja and I. We still have what we wore in Garlemald before. Estinian claims to be quite warm and toasty beneath his armor, and since he spent a fair bit of time up north recently as well, I've no reason to doubt his words. Most of the others will be borrowing Grand Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise, I suppose, provided you are not overly concerned with style. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I wouldn't be seen dead in one of those ridiculous overcoats. If only I had the time to find something to my liking. Hark! Is that the cry of science in need of a tailor, I hear? Hello? But how? Ha ha ha, I have my ways. Oh yes indeed. You thought you could sneak off to Ilsabard without telling me? Ha! Nothing escapes my notice. She's so cute. Now, you will wear these garments I've made for you, whether you like it or not. You never cease to amaze. But why do you need a new outfit as well? Wait, are you coming with us? What? No, of course not, silly. It's all in the name of fashion. Rather, the pursuit of the highest quality fashion. Besides, how can I expect others to wear my creations if I've never worn them myself? Fair enough, I suppose. Ah, I did have one other thing to share. Ergmus and Blombida have finally returned from assignments in faraway lands. They'll be staying at the Rising Stones for a while to keep an eye on events throughout Eorzea. I don't remember who those are. Since they'll be running things back at the headquarters, I was wondering if I could lend a hand in Sharlayan. Oh, why not? You can keep Krell company in the Baldessian Annex. Yes, we'd love to have you there. And I heard Ergmus and Blombida did a fine job carrying on in our stead while we were lying comatose. With them in charge of the Rising Stones, we've nothing to worry about. My thoughts exactly. Also, while I'm confident that you won't go collapsing again, because a certain someone who shall remain nameless isn't in a position to transport your souls to another world, if anything similarly disastrous were to happen, I'll be well positioned to do something about it. Anyway, I've got a few things to take care of, and then I'll make my way to Sharlayan. I really do hope these new clothes are enough to keep you warm in Garlemald. It's not much, but it's the only thing I can do for you, other than pray for your safe return, which I will, every day. Let's not keep the contingent waiting any longer. Let's go to Garlemald. Here are your winter woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. Yeah, that's the coat I'm wearing right now. You would receive that at this point. But I'm already wearing it. Yay! I'm told the airship pilot has been sent to meet you. Ah, there he is. Alright, this is where we go our separate ways. Do be careful, won't you? Alright. Let's go. It's an honor to finally meet you. We of the Garland Ironworks will be ferrying you and your contingent across the mountains and into Garlemald. For many of us, it will be something of a homecoming. Our illustrious founder was only our most notable imperial defector. For that reason, the company is committed to the success of this expedition. Our resources are at your disposal, and if there is aught we might do to be of further assistance, please do not hesitate to ask. If you are ready to depart, I will start the engines. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go to Garlemald. Wow, map time. Yay, map time. Look, it's Veronica.
Ilsabard, divided in twain by a vast mountain range. Those who would traverse its jagged peaks face peril at every step. But why go by foot when one can simply fly?
Okay, Emmett.
on the outskirts of the Imperial capital, in the frozen wastes of the Magna Glacius. The winds howl in icy protest, as if to warn against further trespass.
We've received word from Thancred's reconnaissance party. They've sighted a detachment of heavily armed Imperials.
Survivors of the Civil War, perhaps?
Perhaps, but there is more to it than that. Maxima reports that they're led by Vergilia, legatus of the 3rd Legion, which comprises the bulk of their number. However, they are also joined by several members of the 1st.
From what I recall, the 3rd Legion fought for Nerva in the War of Succession following Varus's death. The 1st, on the other hand, were under the direct command of the Emperor and rejected Nerva's claim to the throne. These legions were enemies.
Indeed. In fact, our sources claim that it was a conflict between them that sparked the Civil War. Yet now, these former foes cooperate to defend a ruined Garlemald from invasion.
Then it is all but certain they have been tempered.
So, what's the plan? If me and my crew is out reaving, we charge straight in, no messing about. But that ain't what we're here for.
Quite right. Soldiers or no, they are people of Garlemald, the very ones we have come to aid. Direct confrontation is unavoidable. Nevertheless, we must make every effort to limit casualties on both sides. Rather than kill them, I would remove them from the field.
How so? Savage beatings, disarmament, and imprisonment? Not impossible, but easier said than done in the heat of battle.
Having observed the opposition, I imagine Thancred had something to suggest?
He did. He and the other scouts have already infiltrated a supply depot some distance beyond the Imperial detachment's current position. Stored within is a stockpile of Magitech armaments, and once we give the signal, Thancred's team will destroy them all. In so doing, we will deprive frontline troops of materiel, and likely force the detachment to send men to investigate.
Divide and conquer. Not a bad idea.
Once the scouts have finished their preparations, we will split into 2 groups. The first will form the vanguard, while the other brings up the rear with our supplies. As for the Scions, I ask that you lend your assistance where you deem it needed most. I would prefer, however, that you accompany the rearguard and be prepared to join the van at a moment's notice. Kept in reserve as our trump card, so to speak.
Meanwhile, at the Imperial supply depot, this is Thancred.
Your proposal was well received. More specifically, they asked that we destroy the Imperial's toys in as spectacular a fashion as possible.
Ishtola always did have a flair for the dramatic. She's not an easy woman to please, but I shall do my best to satisfy her thirst for fireworks.
Lug.
All right. Once more for my peace of mind. Our first objective will be to rig the enemy's magitech with explosives. After we've withdrawn to a safe distance, we'll detonate them remotely. Our second will be to issue a deactivation command to the automated units via the control terminal. If our calculations are correct, this signal should reach those deployed on the front line, giving our friends a much-needed upper hand. The blizzard will help us stay hidden, so let's aim to get in and out before it passes. Trust in the plan, and we should all live to see tomorrow.
Yay!
In the meantime, I will relay messages back and forth as the situation unfolds. You'll forgive me if I ask again, but are you certain you wish to play the lone wolf?
Wouldn't have it any other way. Call it foolish and reckless if you like, but I'll get the job done. I always do.
Very well. I wish you the best of luck.
Yes, sir. Assuming there is nothing else you wish to confirm, we may commence with the mission as soon as you're ready.
Keep your wits about you.
It's time. We only have one shot at this, so let's make it count.
Two on the gate. Could get messy if I'm not careful. Let's see. Swift deception. Only one guard guarding the controls. Hello? Field controls. Now to set the explosives. Let's keep quiet for now. Go to sleep. Wait. Get out of my way, bro. Don't look at me. So they guard dogs, eh? No use in hiding, they'll soon sniff me out. Luckily, I've come prepared. Go to sleep. Take you down. Pop. This should do the trick. Now to hide and send word.
This is Thancred. The explosives are in place.
This is Thancred.
Very good. All is proceeding as planned. Head to the control terminal. It should be to the northwest.
Understood. Have the others wait at the rendezvous point.
Pop. Ooh. Don't worry about that. Magitek slasher. You don't see me. Oh, you do. Can I pass you? Will you see? No, you'll see me.
Must be losing my touch.
Sorry, Thancred. Grow up.
Must be losing my touch.
Stop insulting me. You're such a binge. They're okay, they're okay, they're okay, it's okay. Bop! Okay, control terminal. That's it, the control terminal. Thank you. You succeeded in disabling Thancred over here. Yay!
You are returned, and none the worse for wear, to my considerable relief.
What news from our comrades?
They stand at the ready.
Excellent. Then let the fireworks begin.
A few moments later, at the rear of the Ilsford contingent's something. Yes, kill!
The blizzard's beginning to clear. The Vanguard should be engaging the Imperials any moment now, if they haven't already. Ishtola and the others are with them, so I'm sure they'll be all right, but... coming!
Oi! Looks like we ain't the only ones who sent out scouts. Keep them away from the carriages! We lose those, and we're as good as dead!
Kill! Yay, I'm fighting as Flashay. That's my favorite
Protect
character.
the others!
Yeah. Absolutely.
A brief respite, but stay alert. Keep the carriages safe.
What impeccable timing! Fear not, friends! The savior of Ishgard is here!
We're under fucking attack! Oh, that's the wrong button.
A fine display, but the other carriages are still in danger.
You're so loud!
Go on ahead. We'll hold the line.
We're the only ones still struggling.
Yeah.
Time we put our backs into it then.
Put your butts into it.
I've been itching for a good scrap.
Wah! Magitech reinforcements arrive. Bastard's going straight for the carriages. Stop it in its tracks. What is your plan? Quick, broadside it.
You lot alright back there? We're fine and ready for more.
Yay.
Hear that? Get to the front and turn the tide.
Okay. Head north and join the vanguard. Oh shit. I'm going the wrong way, I'm sorry. Meanwhile, on the front line. Please!
Removed from the field was not a euphemism for enthusiastically murder.
It's nothing that won't heal in time.
The trouble is,
God.
their tempering has made them utterly fearless. Subduing them would be easier if they had the capacity to submit in the first place.
Well, this is the path our young charges would have us walk, and that we all agreed to follow. You knew it would be hard, yet still you pledged your lance, did you not?
That I did.
That's Virgilia. Damn it. I need to help the others take her down.
There's no end to them!
I was wondering when you'd turn up.
I love her in this outfit.
There's no stopping us now. Come on, let's show them what we're made of.
Let's go!
We have them now! Forward!
Supply caravan is safe for the time being, and Thancred's team have thrown the enemy into disarray.
Right! Let them have it!
Beyblade, Beyblade, let it rip. Now it's our turn. Ooh, hello?
That's a raging bull!
Yes! Pippin, let's go! Woo! Uh-oh, she's coming towards us.
That's her! Virgilia!
Virgilia van Corculum. Corculum?
Do not fall behind!
Very cool. I think she is the only female legatus in the game. Which, you know, is something. But guys. Should I be calling you Smurfette Man? Ah! Leave me alone.
Is everyone alright?
No, I ran into it. you, thank you. See you tomorrow. And good luck with your appointment. Oh, there she is. More fodder for my flames. So many. At this rate we'll be overwhelmed. I will not fall so easily. These curs will taste my wrath. More of them, quickly! Lend Sadu a hand. Make way, these whelps will rue the day they cross my path. None shall escape my chains. Now's your chance to strike.
Tremble before the sun!
May your free fill the air!
5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go! Blap. You're dead. All of you. Nice. We did.
A worthy adversary.
I love her.
Rest, recover, reclaim yourself. Then we will fight again, to the death.
Sadu Hatun.
That was the last of them. The day is ours, thanks to your timely arrival. What of the supply caravan? Outmaneuvered, but not outmatched. Good. Let us take the Imperials into custody and rejoin our comrades. And soon we shall arrive at the capital.
Oh boy.
So cold and unforgiving. Thus spoke Emperor Solus as he gazed upon his barren domain. "800 years it had been since the Garleans first set foot here. Bested by the Kavosi, after centuries of war and driven from fertile southern pastures into the blasted northern wastes. In that garden of desolation, they clung to one another for warmth, freezing, hungry, desperate, hated. The chosen forsaken. In the year 1513 of the 6th Astral Era, a young legatus named Solace single-handedly sparked the Magitech revolution. How did he conceive the machina that feed on ceruleum? Once a common, soft-spoken soldier, how had he so quickly ascended through the ranks?
I wonder.
Like so many others, those who knew the truth are gone. Taking in the capital with his eyes for the first time, I recall thinking to myself, far colder on the earth than in the heavens. Yes, far colder indeed, bitterly so.
Now this yucky tower is stinking up the place. Garlemald, what?
Not so much as a whisper.
The roads leading beyond the city walls would have been used less in recent years. Nevertheless, this was one of the most important gateways into the capital.
A buzz day and night with activity, aye. Merchants passing through the checkpoint, many of them stopping at the local hostelries.
Surely they cannot all have been tempered.
We can consider the question after we have made camp. If we spend any longer outside, we may well freeze to death where we stand. The tempered Imperials, too.
This will be our temporary base of operations. Secure shelter for ourselves and the injured, and dispatch scouts to survey the surrounding area.
If we're planning on staying here a while, we ought to give this place a proper name.
Well, the constant sound of ice cracking underfoot makes me think of broken glass. An apt name, perhaps. But enough of this. To work, everyone!
Wow, Camp Broken Glass. Very cool. In spite of the obstacles we faced, our plan proceeds apace. Just a little farther and we will reach the capital itself. Still, we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. As soon as the camp has been made fit for purpose, we are to discuss a course of action with Lucia. Would you mind asking Y'shtola and Graha to join us in that building to the northeast of the camp? Alize and I will meet you there. Nice, what weapon are you using? Blaze Ingenuity. Ooh! Holy shit. That's awesome. Love me some relic weapons. A meeting? Yes, I'll make my way over once my head is cleared. In truth, I've been feeling out of sorts since we arrived. The air is thick with a palpable aura of malevolence. There's the monstrous tower on the horizon, jagged, hideous, unholy. Even at this distance, its presence is overwhelming. Much like the sensation I felt in the Tower of Zot, only far more terrifying. Ether flows unceasingly towards it, converging into a swirling mass of unfathomable power. For a blessing, the constant chill in the air is helping to anchor my senses in the here and now. Tell the others I shall be with you in a few moments. Okay, you're still there. Gra. You'll be pleased to know most of the Tempered have been quartered inside the nearby buildings and are receiving treatment as we speak. I do, however, feel no small amount of guilt for commandeering civilian homes. The occupants may be long gone, but everything is exactly as they left it. Considering the length of time that has clearly passed since, one would expect to find them ransacked. Strangely, there are no signs of anything having been stolen. It's possible that everyone fled at the first sign of trouble, though it seems to me they left far too many useful possessions behind. Although there is no conclusive evidence, I strongly suspect they were tempered. Sorry, I was merely thinking aloud. You mentioned a meeting? I will make my way there. Meeting. Thank you for informing the others of our meeting. When everyone is here, we will begin.
Our present situation is as follows. Efforts to aid the people of Garlemald have begun in earnest. Moreover, having entered into the capital, the Imperial Palace is within our reach.
But before we proceed further, we must learn what has befallen this city, for therein lies the key to understanding and combating the Telophoroid's designs.
I have a suggestion, if I may. Several of the Imperial soldiers we captured on the Magna Glaciers are members of the Populares and acquaintances of mine. Once we have cured them of their tempering, they should be able to give a reliable account of the events leading to the capital's downfall.
A promising idea. I will assist the healers and their ministrations. Of course, I will require a porxie of my own, assuming you can spare one.
Would you like a hand?
No, I am sure we will manage. Better that you take my place in the field. The noxious ether of this place disagrees with me, and as I shall need to draw on my own for the treatment, 'twill be prudent for me to remain within the camp.
This talk of curing the tempered is all well and good, but I reckon the cold is a more pressing concern. All the houses round here are fitted with ceruleum heaters that could keep us warm and toasty. Problem is, the machines seem to have given up the ghost, and if we keep sitting around, freezing our asses off, we'll be next. My smiths reckon that with the right parts, they can have them working again, but it won't be easy.
Understood. The machinist will assist them in the repairs.
The rest of us should either stand watch or survey the area.
We've made our presence known to the Telophoroi. They will be searching for us, if they have not already ascertained our position. That we have seen no sign of them since the battle suggests they have yet to do so. However, I suspect they may be biding their time.
Or perhaps we are beneath their notice.
In any event, we'll find no answers standing around here. Urianger, Estinian and myself have visited Garlemald recently. so we'll lead the reconnaissance efforts. Perhaps bolstered by a few Bosnian and Dalmatian scouts from my previous excursion for good measure.
Don't forget about us Alamegans. We have experienced scouts of our own.
Well now, this is turning out to be a rather sizable team. With such numbers, we should be able to cover a wide area with relative ease, including that surrounding the Imperial Palace. How about you, Graha? I have a feeling we'll find a use or two for that vanishing spell of yours.
Twould be my honor to be of service, though I doubt that you of all people need rely on my tricks.
That leaves us with guard duty.
As a matter of fact, I have something else in mind for the two of you and Alphino. Between here and the center of the capital lies the Eblan Rime. I would have you search the area for survivors. Your keen sense of direction, honed in your extensive travels, should prove useful in navigating the ice fields.
If there are any survivors, we will surely find them.
I have faith that you will, and look forward to greeting you on your safe return.
Yay!
You all have your duties. Let us make haste. May the Fury bless and keep you.
No. Gods be good. If it's this cold with the Taru's clothing, I dread to think how we'd fare without it. I must remember to thank her when next we meet. It makes me realize, too, that while the people of Garlemald have spent their whole lives in conditions like these, even they'd be hard-pressed to survive away from the warmth of their homes. If there are any survivors, we must find them, and quickly. Yeah, I just love hearing the Kamui. Let's see, I think it's the Kamui mounts. Yeah, it's the Kamui mounts. I have the one for Suzaku and the one for Byakko. Look at that. Woofies. Alright, I'm on a lane. What ho, chums? Been given something to do, have you? As it happens, I too have been ordered to make myself useful. Sounds like a rather tall order. Ahem. Since you ask, we're to scour the Eblan Rime for survivors. What? Wander around ice fields on the off chance you'll find someone? It'd take forever to finish the job without the benefit of my expertise. Or, more specifically, my telescope. Come, friends, I know just the spot to begin our search. I'll probably regret this, but we may as well humor him. Veronica, carry me to where I need to be. I spy with my little telescope a massive sheep thing? Or maybe it's a cow? Not what we're after either way. Is that an aether current? Ah, no, just a wind sprite. Other than that, it's all snow, snow, snow. But lo, what do I see over yon hillock? There's no mistaking it. That's a girl. Not a scarecrow. A survivor? Show me. Over there, behind that tree. It looks like she's running away from something. Though surely not us. She wouldn't even know we're here unless she had a telescope like mine. All I can tell is that she's wearing a pale green dress. A rather fetching one at that. She'll be long gone by the time we get anywhere near, but we should be able to follow her footprints. Jeez. I'll let Lucia know where you're heading. Oh, and take these warming tinctures with you. The poor girl must be chilled to the bone, if not on the verge of freezing to death. That's actually very thoughtful. Thank you. But won't you need some for yourself? No, I'll be fine. As a man of chivalry, my honor demands that I do no less. Unless we forget, the very reason we are here is to protect those in need. Now go, and Godspeed. Let's go! I do like the music here, it's very melancholy. Stay away from me, you big bish. A trail of fresh footprints leads east. These footprints appear to be the same as those you saw previously, and they lead towards the building. We're getting closer, I'm sure of it. At first we thought she'd gone inside the building, but the door doesn't look to have been opened in some time. She might still be nearby, so we'll keep looking around here. Then again, it's also possible that she ran right past this place. Would you mind searching up ahead? Okay. Pick yon. Searching for so long. Hey, you! The girl in the green dress anxiously surveys her surroundings. Were you to call out to her from this distance, it might attract wild beasts to your location. It would be safer to get closer first, but you must do so without drawing her attention. Okay. Follow the girl from a safe distance. Yeah. Gotta hide. Let's go. You. So far, so good. So funny that, like, wouldn't she be able to see our footprints in the snow if we can see hers? But, you know, never mind. Is someone there? I must be imagining things. What the fuck is that sound? Oh, it's that thing. Sometimes in this game you just hear noise and you're like, what is that? If those beasts spot me, I'm done for. Hope my luck holds. Me too. Gotta keep going. They're all depending on me. No, go away. You're disgusting. I hate the noises. Just a little farther. Who are you? Stay away. No! Fuck! God damn it! Gotta do all of that again. How about that? Yeah, I know. I did this the first time. Right the first time. I went too quickly on the last bit. Ugh, the noises. Kill. At least Russia is looking cozy. Yeah, you're looking up, but you can't see me. I'm hiding too good. They are! I hate them. I had to subject myself to them twice. And you as well. Hello, girl in green, if that is your real name. Phew, still in one piece. Hello. I think I'm out of tea. Who are you? Ooh, Leanne. Stay back. This house is packed with explosives. Take another step and I'll blow this place sky high. Please, we just want to talk. I'm Alphino. This is my sister, Alize, and our good friend, Washe. We have no intentions of hurting or taking anything from you or anyone else. I give you my word. We and our comrades have come to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. Aid? You people are the ones responsible for all of this. You did this to us. We didn't, I promise you. One of the other reasons we came was to find out what happened here, in fact. The Telophoroi are the ones to blame. They're the ones who laid waste to Garlemald, and they won't stop until they've destroyed the entire world. They are the enemy, our enemy. On our way, we encountered Imperial soldiers who have been made their thralls. Those poor souls are now in our care, and we are striving to cure them of their affliction. You're the first person we've met who wasn't already enslaved. How were you able to escape the Telophoroi's influence? Are there any others like you? I'm sorry, I don't mean to overwhelm you. Let's start with introductions. Can you tell me your name? My name is Licinia. As for how I've managed to stay sane, I've been asking myself the same question ever since that night, and the roar, that terrible roar, and then the screams. I was screaming too, I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Then came the silence. Everything was still. It was like waking up from a nightmare. I thought that maybe the fighting had stopped, so I stepped outside. If your hells are real, I saw one that day. I ran, past friends, people I'd known all my life, eyes vacant, dead, staring at the sky. Others were mad and violent. I saw them struggle with soldiers, but didn't stay to watch. I fled as far as my legs would take me. Do you have family here? Is this their home? No, this is Victor's spoils. A mansion for retired soldiers. Or it was, but now me and a few others are, borrowing it. As for the explosives, I was making that up. I just wanted to keep everyone else safe, and I didn't know if you were... The truth is, our supplies are running low. You said you're here to help. Can you? Of course. Whatever assistance we can provide, we will. Thank you. I'd better tell the others first, though. Wait here. This is everyone. The Cineas says you can be trusted, but these are desperate times. We'd be fools to let foreign troops into our home. Having said that, were you to provide us with the means of heating the place, as a sign of goodwill, perhaps we could take you at your word. If that's too much to ask, then leave us be. Time to put my firewood gathering skills to use. Could you provide the spark with a little magic, Alize? We'll have a fire burning in no time. Maybe build it under that gazebo. The what? Oh, you mean the bower. Yes, yes, do as you will. Dot dot dot. That's promising. Sorry, I'm still finding it hard to come to terms with all that's happened. Now that you're here, though, I'm hoping things might change for the better. You know, I've worked up quite a sweat from all that running about, so I'll leave space around the fire for the others. As you can tell, they're in far worse state than me. We were planning to look for somewhere warmer or with more food, but they're not going anywhere until we nurse them back to health, which I don't know how to do. Is there anything you can do to help them? Maybe the tinctures. Look at that. A radio. I can treat their frostbite and their wounds, but it will take time for the fire to do its work. Now would be a good occasion to make use of Amanelane's tinctures, the ones that can warm the body from the inside out. Would you make sure everyone gets one? The numbness is beginning to subside, though I suspect once the fire dies it will return with a vengeance. Warming tincture? I've never heard of such a thing. No harm in trying. But tell me, have you heard aught of the city? Though calling it that seems absurd after what's happened. It's nothing but ruins now. The few buildings still standing offer no more than meager protection from wind and snow. Food production, water purification, the magitech that sustained us has come to a grinding halt. What machina that remains operational cannot be run for lack of ceruleum. Of course, Cerulia Engines is full of the stuff, for all the good that it does us. No one here knows the first thing about extraction or refinement. All is well. Yes, never better. Oh, what sweet libation is this? Is it poison by any chance? Ha ha ha! 'Twas a joke, a joke! Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! If I laugh, 'tis that I may not weep, so said the poet. And alas, my tears would freeze on my cheeks ere they fall. We are the blessed damned, to bear witness to the fall of the great empire, while our brethren lie dead, or live on as puppets of flesh. First came the war, then came the roar. When morning came, Garlemald was no more. In the cacophony of gunfire, explosions, and screams was our beloved capital razed to the ground. From the rubble rose the disheveled remnants, their lavish finery caked in ash as they shuffled mindlessly towards the palace, each bearing a fragment of stone or metal, an offering perhaps to the architect of our destruction. A hopeful few tried to reason with the deranged, only to be beaten for their kindness. But I knew better than to plead with the horde. I held my breath, if not my conscience preserved. Now I wait with my fellow cowards for our final judgment. Don't be so hard on yourself. What do you want? A tincture. May as well drink it, I suppose. It's a radio. You don't have them where you come from, I take it? We use them to listen to messages sent by others, even over great distances. There are different types, but this model is by far the most popular. Made with quality components crafted with the finest ore. Sourced from Locus Aminus it is. Not all that useful since the capital fell into ruin. The people at the broadcasting station must have either fled or ended up like all the others, because all we've been hearing is the same music, being played over and over again. Home beyond the horizon, a note to the brave men and women sent to reclaim our ancestral homeland of Locus Aminus. We may have founded an empire in these frozen wastes, but we always hope to take back what was once ours. 'Tis a solemn reminder that though we must suffer great hardship, better days will surely come. Despite everything, I believe that Emperor Varus yet lives, and that he speaks to us through our radios. It was a cunning strategy, faking his murder. He must have foreseen this catastrophe and chosen to conceal himself, that he may one day make his triumphant return. Yes, I'm sure of it. Emperor Varus would not be defeated so easily. Man, I forgot how depressing this area is. What's that? So this is what you gave the others. Thank you. I'll save it for later. Actually, I have a few things to ask you. Are you part of the group staying in Laterum? I saw Legatus Vergilia's troops heading towards the Magna Glacius a few days ago. Are they the ones you encountered? Camp Broken Glass, you call it. And Vergilia and her men are all there now. So, how did you reach the Magna Glacius? Did you cross the mountains on foot? Airships? Then there might be a way to... Licinia? Where is everyone? Is something the matter? A voice from inside, you say? You must be imagining things. Everyone's out here. Perhaps a baby Almasty found its way into the house. It wouldn't be the first time. Without the soldiers to scare them off, wild animals have been roaming closer to the settlements. Some have been known to attack people too. I've just had an idea. If you and yours are strong enough to defeat the legatus, then surely a few beasts shouldn't pose a threat. If you have a mind to continue helping us, perhaps you could head to the other side of the lake. There's a small group of tappers living there, people whose job it was to extract ceruleum. They still do, from what we can tell. I've already tried asking if they would share their fuel with us, but they're not willing to give it away. They want food in exchange. Lots of food. And that's something we don't have and can't get on our own. On top of that, to even reach there, then we'd have to make our way past all those creatures. Would you be willing to go in our place? We only need enough ceruleum to last until the others are strong enough to travel to your camp. If the offer still stands, that is. Oh, and don't expect you to give up your own supplies. But there might be another way to pay the tappers. If it's ceruleum you need, then ceruleum you'll have. You shall have. Thank you so much. To reach the tappers then, you'll have to cross the lake. The ice is thick enough to support a person's weight, but if you'd rather not take the risk, you'll need to take the long way around. Finding the entrance can be a bit tricky too, so it's easier to just look for someone standing guard outside. However you decide to head there, please be careful. Whee! Well, luckily we have the advantage of flight, so we can just go there. I'm not gonna go long today because I'm pretty tired. Hey guys. Who goes there? How did you find us? What do you mean I stand out like a sore thumb? If the purebloods over at Victor's Spoils hadn't given away our location, you'd have never found us. Those stuck-up assholes. Thought they could come waltzing in here demanding ceruleum with nothing to offer in return. Ha! Looks like the boot's on the other foot now the capital's gone to shite. So they've resorted to sending you to negotiate. I know your game, sellsword. If they think we'll give into intimidation, they've got another thing coming. Calm down. Please, stop. Consider me intimidated. Okay. Easy peasy. There you are. Lizzie. Just after you left, Licinia asked me to go and catch up with you, in case you needed a hand. Someone must have let slip that I've a little experience in transporting barrels of ceruleum. So this is Tapper's Den. Well then, after you. Who are you? What happened to the guards? Eorzeans and rebels here to save the people of Garlemald? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why in the hells would you pass up this chance to put those Imperial bastards to the sword? Let me guess, none of you are Garlean? You were brought here from other lands? Girabania, Yangsha, Boja, Damaska, to name but a few. Some dragged here against our will, others fed bollocks about a better life, all put to work extracting ceruleum. All given the esteemed title of An, placing us firmly on the bottom rung of the ladder. But the old hierarchy means nothing in the new Garlemald, says we. About the only thing that's escaped more or less unscathed is Cerulia engines. Still sustaining us, even with our paymasters out of the picture. I hear you're expert in drawing up ceruleum from the bottom of the lake. But how can you do that if it's frozen over? Ha! Wouldn't you like to know? Trade secrets, I'm afraid. At any rate, it's not as if ceruleum is used for much these days, what with the city in ruins. We take enough to power our heaters and save the surplus for later. And though it helps stave off the cold, it does sod all for our hunger unless we can trade it away. Speaking of which, be sure to tell your contingent we've got ceruleum by the barrel full. If they're interested, we'll exchange it for whatever provisions they're willing to spare. We can certainly ask, but if you're all free to go now, why carry on living here? Free to go? Go where? Even if we managed to get back to our homelands, there'd be nothing left for us, thanks to the Empire. And the knowledge and skills we acquired working here would be practically useless outside of Garlemald. So we're staying for the time being. Long as there's a need for ceruleum, we'll find a way to get by, even if Garlemald as we knew it is gone for good. Gone for good. Phew. Regardless of what the Ilsebert contingent does for the people of Garlemald, the Empire itself is already a thing of the past. For many, that would be cause for celebration, while for others, their whole way of life will have been turned upside down. After all the atrocities committed in the Empire's name, perhaps it is for the best that it is consigned to history. But what of the ordinary people, their lives, their stories? Should they be forgotten too? I suppose there'll be plenty of time to ponder that later. For now, let's see about getting some ceruleum. Let me just check that. Why can't I open this link? Thank you. Let's make a start on this quest, and at the hour we'll call stream. So, you've come seeking ceruleum, have you? What? Those purebloods up at Victor's Spoils sent you? To turn to their enemies for help. They must be more desperate than I thought. Then again, Licinia's got her little sister to think about. A sister? But we only saw Licinia and 3 men. It's possible she died from whatever was ailing her. If she needed treatment, I doubt there'd be any way to get it around here. I may have refused Licinia at first, thinking she'd come back with something to exchange. but I can spare them a bottle's worth of ceruleum. Consider it a reward for introducing me to the rest of your contingent. Be sure to send them our way, you hear? I can't for the life of me think why Licinia would keep her sister a secret from us, but we can ask about that after we've delivered this ceruleum. Come on, let's hurry back. Oh boy, and hurry back we should. Come on, Veronica, at the speed of light. This isn't right. It's too quiet. I would have thought Alphino would still be treating them by the fire, but they're nowhere to be seen. I'll look inside the house while you search outside. They can't have gone far. Okay. Oh. Hey, Alphino. You okay, buddy? They asked me to help carry supplies, but when I followed them back here, they attacked me. Caught me off guard. Forced me to defend myself. I fear they fared rather worse than me. You can't fool us. We know what you're about. Vultures, that's what you are. Waiting in the wings for us to show weakness, then in you swoop. Here to help? What rot. All a ploy, to make us lower our guard. Let you in, put ourselves at your mercy, put us in chains, steal our lands, get your revenge. You're wrong. That's not what any of us want. Save the arguments for later. We've got bigger problems. I found empty medicine bottles and a bed that was still warm. It's true. Licinia was hiding her sick sister inside the house. But now, there's no sign of either of them. Where are they? Where did they go? Away from you and yours. And if you think I'll tell you, you're a fool. I'd never give up my people. We're trying to help them, you idiot. Her sister's ill. The empty bottles prove it. So the medicine ran out, or she put it in her pockets to make it easier to carry. Or to avoid the sound of clinking glass. There are beasts everywhere. How could you let them go alone? To protect them from you. You invade our homeland, tainted with the same sorcery used to slay our countrymen. A guardian should sooner die than suffer the insult. Better for them to flee, keep their purity intact, than be corrupted by your vile magics. We were waiting for a chance to free them, since the moment you arrived. This is getting us nowhere. I cannot say how Licinia and her sister will react when we find them, but find them we must. Go on without me, both of you. I first need to tend to my injuries, and theirs. I will join you in the search after. Alright, be careful. We'll do our best to find them quickly. There's only one path out of here, so that's where we'll start. That's where we'll start. Tomorrow. Because I am tired and my throat hurts from talking so much. So, let's switch over to the stream ending screen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. Welcome to the Sadness Express. I hope you will enjoy. And yeah, as I said, I'm gonna stream again tomorrow, so we're gonna get more into Garlemald. Yeah, big yawns. I am going to get some good rest. I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah. Thanks again for being here. And I will see you next time. Goodbye, goodbye.